in these streets.
And I'm just like you.
We getting locked by these caps.
And I'm just like you.
We fulfill the prophecies.
And I'm just like you.
You might be light, I might be dark.
But I'm just like you.
We kill each other over colors.
Damn, I'm just like you.
I'm in these ghettos, in these
And
slums.
I'm just like you.
They call you nigga, call me Spick.
And I'm just like you.
You was 1619, I was 1492. We getting shot in these streets.
And I'm just like you.
We getting locked by these caps.
And I'm just like you.
Welcome to FCN Quick News of the Day. I'm Officer Daniel, and in today's news we have.
Surprise twist today for a murder suspect in Spring, Texas, caught in a love triangle.
A woman accused of killing her lover over his other lover finds out that he had a wife all along too. Fox 26's Tiffany Justice live with this deadly affair.
The wife saying the ME's office finally released the body to her after confusion over who was the real wife. A love triangle leaves a Spring man dead. The Harris County Sheriff's Office saying an adult female, Karen Stewart, advised responding deputies that she shot her husband after he told her he was in love with another woman. That other woman was with him at the time. Karen Stewart is now in jail, charged with murder, bond set at $75,000. The love triangle unfolding as investigators learn more. Stewart is a girlfriend of James Hardgrove, the victim. James married but recently separated.
I got the call that my husband had been shot, and they took him to Houston Northwest. He didn't make it. It's very hard to believe. We've been married for 14 years. It's very hard to believe.
Sandra Hartgrove, the wife, is in disbelief, saying they separated in November and that she was unaware of the other women.
I've never met the person. I have no idea. My knowledge is she's a caregiver.
She says James was her best friend and they spoke every other day.
Talked to him every other day. I haven't really seen him since my nephew's wedding, but I talked to him every other day. He just recovered from COVID. He had been in the hospital. He was there 5 months. He couldn't walk. He had 2 heart attacks, a stroke, his kidneys failed, and he had just recovered from all of that. So for him to make it through all of that, to end like this, is real disheartening.
You see, you could drop that. So that's why here in IUIC we push marriages, because all of this love triangle, boyfriend, girlfriend, and then you got brothers committing adultery on their wives. Sometimes this is the outcome. You understand? And, you know, in the media and all of this crazy mess, you'll see situations like the one with Will and Jada with this whole love triangle thing. And in some cases, it might end up just like this. In that case, it didn't, but some cases it does. So that's why we need to lean more towards righteous marriages. That's why we teach it. Go to Hebrews. Read Hebrews chapter 13 and read verse 4.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge.
God says that righteous marriages are an honorable thing, right? But whoremongers and adulterers, when you dabble with all these women, you play around with all these men, and vice versa for the sisters, things like this can happen. Judgment like this comes out of that thing, right? Go to Sirach chapter 23 and read verse 17. Let's get into the judgment.
Sirach chapter 23 and verse 17. All bread is sweet to a whoremonger. He will not leave off till he die.
You see that thing? God says all bread is sweet when you're a whoremonger. That man that does not honor marriage. Why? Because in marriage, you shouldn't be committing adultery. You shouldn't be committing adultery. And God says a lot of times when that spirit jumps on you, where you have to dabble in all bread, God says the only thing that can get you to stop is death. That's it. That's it. Go to Exodus. Get the law. Because you're not supposed to be doing those things. When God gave you a wife, that is your possession. That is the only woman that you should be with. God says that he made you and her one, those two twain, one flesh. You understand? You have a connection with that person. That's why when you go outside of that and you dabble with other women, now you're dealing with all those other spirits. That spirit of jealousy gets on you and you don't know what can happen. Read that.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 14. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
God says not to commit adultery. Don't go outside of your marriage, that honorable marriage, and then commit adultery with someone else. Don't do that thing. Go to Proverbs chapter 6 and read verse 23.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is... light.
32. Sorry, 32.
Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 32.
Uh-huh.
But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
You see that? God says if you commit adultery, you lack understanding. Why? Because you don't understand that marriage was supposed to be an honorable thing. You don't understand the rage that you can bring into your house with dealing with so much spirits, because you don't understand the actual form of marriage, the purpose of it. You becoming one flesh with someone else, your body belonging to that other person, your spouse, and their body belonging to you. You don't understand that. Read it again.
Verse 32. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding.
Come on.
He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
God says when you do that thing, you destroy your own soul. How? Read.
A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away.
Come on, read.
For jealousy is the rage of a man.
You see that? God says jealousy is in the midst of someone that can commit adultery on their spouse. In this case, it's talking about the jealousy of a man, right? But a woman gets jealous as well. Read.
Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
Just like if you would be a man that comes home and witness your wife committing adultery, there is nothing in the world that can convince you to show mercy in that instant. Nothing. There's nothing that the man can do. There's nothing that he can say. There's nothing that he can offer you that you will be merciful in that situation. That's what this is saying. That's what God is saying. Read it again.
Verse 34. For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
Come on, read.
He will not regard any ransom. Neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts.
Though thou givest many gifts. There's nothing that you can tell that man in that situation. So why play with it? Why not understand that committing adultery can put you in a situation like this? In this brother's case, he had multiple women. He had a wife, and just one of those women had to put him to death. That was the rage and the jealousy that fell upon her. Go to Sirach chapter 18 and verse 30. Sirach chapter 18 verse 30.
Sirach chapter 18 and verse 30. Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetites.
So in this case, we should learn from situations like this, right? Learn that marriage is an honorable thing that we should not defile, right? Not to commit adultery. Because in certain cases, the judgment that comes behind it, it might be the windows out your car. It might be your brand new tires, your Goodyear tires that you just put on your car. It might be the paint job that you just put. You key that thing right up. Or it might be your life. Read it again.
Verse 30. Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetites.
Come on.
If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughingstock to thine enemies that malign thee.
See that? God says if you give into your lusts, you that brother that want a wife, you want to marry a sister and tell her that you're going to become one flesh with her, but she's not good enough. You want another sister, and then another sister after that. God says when you go after your lusts, it's going to make you a laughingstock.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today.
But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana. Sierra Leone, 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.